As a model and actress, I learned from the best.
Welcome back to Fumi Fashion and Beauty. So today's episode we are going to talk about makeup brushes. A lot of you asked me about makeup brushes. You said, Fumi, your technique is wonderful, we like the way that you apply, but what brushes do we use? So I thought, all right, let me start from the tippy top and talk about the essential brushes that you will need. Starting off, for anybody, these are the basics that you should have to have a wonderful, flawless face. All right, so we're going to start from the beginning. I'm going to pretend that I'm starting my makeup routine for a full face. That way I can guide all the way the brushes that I use, and then that will step aside the ones that I don't use unless occasionally kind of thing, okay? So the first brush that we have is the 187 MAC, and that is the flat brush. Can you see it? Okay, I'm putting it up. Can you see the brush? Yes, it's a flat brush, and this is what I use to put on my liquid foundation. You just put a little bit, I put a little bit on my hand, I swivel it through, and I go roll over my face. This is what I use. I don't always use liquid foundation. That is why I'm going to bring up the Beauty Blender. Sometimes I'll use the creamy foundation, and if I use a creamy foundation, this is what I use. It is essential for every makeup tutorial session. What can I tell you? Anytime when you're wearing your makeup, anytime you want to apply makeup, you will need a Beauty Blender. You just need it. I almost want to say you might need it if you can't afford to buy both of them. If you can't afford to buy both of them, buy the Beauty Blender. You can always blend it out, smudge it out, it will look great. But if you can afford the two of them, take MAC, the 187. Sigma brushes are also good. I just happen to have a lot of MAC brushes, but Sigma will have the same thing. It's just the flat foundation brush, not a blusher brush. You see it is all very edged at the top, and that's what you use to put on your liquid foundation. Yes? Then, once I've put on my liquid foundation, what do I go for? I go now to start to do a light day contour. And with my light day contour, I start to do the shading first before I do the highlight. I cannot live without my NARS Kabuki brush. I cannot. I love it to death because it does exactly what it's supposed to do. And I find it that I can do it easier with this than any other brush. I just put it on to all the angles, and then I can kind of brush it and blend it in without the hard edges. I know it is extremely difficult to find, and it can be expensive because I got this on eBay. I did this in one of my earlier tutorials. Look for something that is this shape. Just look for something that is that shape and you're good, okay? If you cannot get this and you cannot find with the same angle brush that this is, then you can try this brush. And this is an Isadora brush. This is a Scandinavian brand. I was the Isadora girl in Norway, and Stefan, hi Stefan, brother and God, yeah? And he gave me a lot of makeup brushes, and I love this because it's so soft for putting on my blusher. I adore it. It is fantastic. It's so soft and it blends very well. I love it. So just look for a blusher brush, but mine is an Isadora brush. I don't know whether I can show you. Isadora, yeah, okay? Then I go back with my Beauty Blender and I put in the highlight. I use my Pro and Conceal MAC palette in dark, and I use it and I just do my highlight. That's what I use for my highlight. So that's done. So I've done the whole face, I've done my contour highlight, and then now I've used the Beauty Blender to blend in. I've got many of these. So I use like the highlight, I have the darker overground. I'll use lots of these, and then I'm done. So what am I going for? I'm going for my eyes, I'm going for my blusher, I'm going for my lips, yes? All right. Like I said, Isadora, that's my blush. Yeah, that's my blush. I put on sometimes 2 because I use like my chocolate chip just to help to contour it out. And then I highlight with a highlighter, which is my go-to Estee Lauder Heat Wave. Adore it. And then I use this fan brush and I just put it on the top of my cheekbones. That is where I put my highlighter. Because if you put it lower, your cheek will kind of fall. And I will do a tutorial about that, yeah? But this is what you should have. And then you put that right on the top of your cheekbones, right here. And then just here as well, right down your nose, and then on your cupid's bow, on tip of your mouth, just to kind of highlight your lips. You can do that, and that's really gorgeous as well. Sometimes I'll put a little bit right up to underneath my brow, but primarily it's your highlighter, you know, no matter what. All right, I'm done with that. Now we are going to go for the eye. This is essential. This is essential. You have to have these. This is another Isadora brush, and this is basic. You can get this anywhere. It's like a mascara wand, but it's on a brush. And this is for your eyebrows. When you pencil in your eyebrows, sometimes you'll make mistakes. Even I do make mistakes. Sometimes they vary. They're kind of in the same format, but they can vary a little bit, you know, from the way that I feel, or my hand isn't steady, whatever. But if it's too heavy in the beginning, where it should be really natural, you just use this brush, and it brushes off the excess and really minimizes your mistakes, and then it pulls it all together and looks very natural. I cannot do my brows without this, not at all. Sometimes I pencil them in, sometimes I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. No matter what, I use this. I use a pencil sometimes, I use the Anastasia sometimes, but I always use my mascara brow brush. That's what I call it. And there you have it. Do you see it, guys? Okay. Moving along. And what's happening to me this week? My parents are in town. Yes, my mom and dad have been married forever, and they're in town. And it's just really funny because my dad's like, Fumi, I'm like, yes, daddy. And immediately I go back to like the 12-year-old girl that I was. That's the thing about parents. They just really cut you down to size if you're trying to, you know, be too fancy. So they're in town and we're having a blast, and I'm trying to be a good girl and cook and everything. Okay, so moving back, he's laughing. That's my husband. I am cooking. Ula, am I not cooking? Well, I'm putting things together. Yes. Okay, so once we've done the brows, we have the brow bone. The brow bone is just this part here, right underneath the brow. Do you see it? Right there, that's the brow bone. When I always describe on Instagram, and I say, oh, brow bone, transition, lid, we're gonna go through that because those are the 3 stages of how I apply my makeup. And so I use the flat brush. There you go. Do you see it? I can see it. Ooh. Okay, I have to put it in front. Can you see it? And this is MAC. And this is MAC, let me see. Ooh. The MAC 107. MAC 107. And I use that right underneath from here, and I go right over there. That's it. And sometimes in here, this is the tear duct. You know what? Let's go through something. I don't know whether you guys know. Let's do it together, okay? So this is the brow bone. This is the brow bone. And then right here is the transition. This is where your eyelid, where your eye socket, your eyeball, it flips up like the lid. In between the lid and the brow bone is the transition. It's really important to have a transition color because it pulls the brow bone shade and the lip shade together so that it doesn't look too harsh, too stark, you know, like 2 stripes. That is why you have the transition. And that's that shadow right over here that is right over the lid of your eyeball. And then here, my love muffins, is the lid. So when I say brow bone, transition, lid, that's what I mean. And those are your colors. But this is what I use right here for my brow bone, yeah? Now I have my transition brush. Again, it is MAC, and it is MAC 224. And there you have it. Let me bring it up. Do you see it? That's it. Love it, love it, love it. This is a slimmer brush. No, I lie. Let me tell you a secret. I have 2 of them. Okay, let me tell you the secret, because sometimes you got to be creative. If you can see, I'm going to put my hand up, you can see one is fatter, chubbier than the other. You know what I did? I cut it. I chopped it off. I pulled a whole bunch of hairs. The feather is fantastic, but this was too thick. So I went in the middle and I cut it right in so that I could have this thinner effect. I couldn't find another brush like this, so I had to be creative. So these are both 224s, but let me put this down first. This is what I use in the transition. I just feel that the lighter you apply, the less mistakes you make. Then you can build. It's easier for you because if you think, oh, I've done too much, it's not that serious with a thinner brush. And this is what I use it for, okay? Then my lid, which is the gold part right here, I use the flatter brush again, and I use MAC 275. And here's the thing, you just take your shadow and you dab it on, and then you pat onto your lid. Couple of reasons. Brushing it back and forth, you're wasting your product. Brushing it back and forth, you're going to have fallout. What is fallout? Or dropout, as they call it, or whatever. It means that the shadow will fall onto your cheeks. If you are like me, where I put all of my foundation first, and you have dark lid shadows and it falls onto your cheeks, it doesn't matter how great you are with the fan brush to remove off excess, you're going to have residue. So it's better for you to pat. I'll tell you another trick too. You should take sprays of water or MAC Fix Plus and spray onto your brush, your flat pat lid brush, before you apply onto the lid. Guess why? Because it is much more denser, the color is much more denser, and you will have absolutely no fallout. And you can go back and blend it out. It's a genius trick that I learned during my model days, and I love it. And it works for me, yeah? Okay, and I have two lid brushes, the same number, one for dark, which is this one that I brought, and another one for a lighter color such as this, yeah? All right. And then the last but not least is MAC 219, and this is for your tear duct right here, and it's for you underneath your eye, where you can apply more color, and that really pops out the eye, only because it's a softer brush, and you can't really put any of these in the corner of your eye, underneath your eye. I don't think you should, because you might hurt yourself, but this works. And you see, it's just like a little, it's all the residue. I should have washed my brushes, I know, dirty little miss, but I was busy, so I said, you know what to do. You guys more than understand. We're friends now, so you understand, don't you? See? They say, and that's for your tear duct. This is your tear duct. Oh my God, he left. I have no more money for Louboutins. Darling.
That's right.
Okay, stop. But it's your tear duct, where your tears are supposed to, where they form and they spill out. Crying for Louboutins or whatever. Anyway, this is the brush, and it is MAC 219. So that's it, my love muffins. Here are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 brushes that you need. 10 brushes that you need, and you are good to go. And of course, the beauty blender. And you're good to go, guys. You will be very happy with these. Of course, I'm going to put everything in this description box. I'm going to tell you what I'm wearing. I'm going to show you the wig that I'm wearing. Yeah, this is a wig, guys. I just thought I'd be different. Yeah, this is a wig. I love it. It's a full head, and I just put it on, and I just clipped it back with my own natural hair. Do you see? I just thought something fun, very lady. And some, what am I wearing? I think this is called Lady Danger by MAC. All right, love muffins, so what's next? The quote of the week. I'll be right back. Ulash, take a picture.